The rain pounded against the cracked windshield of Aisha's old Honda like a relentless accusation, each drop echoing the sobs that racked her body. She sat in the dim glow of the gas station canopy, her hands trembling on the steering wheel, the engine long since turned off to save the last fumes of fuel. It had been exactly 6 months since her mother's funeral. 6 months since the cancer had stolen the only person who ever truly saw her. The woman who braided her hair and whispered stories of resilience from their ancestors. Aisha, 27 and adrift in a world that felt colder without her, had just been fired from her job as a community organizer. Budget cuts, they said, but she knew it was because she pushed too hard for equity in a system that preferred silence. Her boyfriend, the one she thought would stand by her, had packed his bags that morning, muttering about her endless grief being too much. Betrayed, jobless, and hollowed out by loss, Aisha felt the weight of it all crash down. "Why me?" she whispered to the empty car, tears blurring the neon sign outside. In that moment of utter heartbreak, she didn't know if she could keep going. But then, a stranger pulled up beside her, fumbling with an empty wallet, and something in her broken heart stirred. With her last $20, she paid for his gas, a quiet act of defiance against her own despair. Little did she know, that man was Senator Elijah Grant, and his gratitude would unravel her world in ways she never imagined. Aisha drove away from the gas station that rainy night, her tank barely half full, her mind a whirlwind of denial. "It's not that bad," she told herself, gripping the wheel tighter as if to squeeze out the truth. Her mother's voice echoed in her head, strong, unyielding. "Child, we bend, but we don't break." But Aisha felt broken, splintered into pieces she couldn't recognize. The betrayal from Marcus, her ex, stung like fresh salt in an open wound. He'd left a note on the kitchen table. "I can't carry your pain anymore. I need space." Space. After she'd supported him through his own failures, his late nights and empty promises, she replayed their last fight in her mind, her voice cracking as she begged him to stay. "I'm hurting, Marcus. Mama's gone, and now this job. It's all falling apart." His response? A cold shrug. "Get over it, Aisha. Life moves on." The next days blurred into a haze of denial. She avoided mirrors, afraid to see the exhaustion etched into her brown skin, the dark circles under eyes that once sparkled with purpose. Mornings were the worst. She'd lie in bed, scrolling through old photos of her mother, laughing at family barbecues, teaching Aisha to cook jollof rice with that secret spice blend. "She's not really gone," Aisha whispered to the empty room. "It's just a bad dream." But the pain crept in like fog, seeping through cracks in her armor. At night, she'd curl up on the couch, the apartment too quiet without her mother's calls. Grief wasn't linear. It ambushed her in grocery aisles, where the sight of fresh okra reminded her of shared meals, or in job interviews where she fumbled answers, her confidence shattered. One afternoon, desperate for distraction, Aisha wandered into a local park. Children laughed on swings, their joy a stark contrast to her inner storm. A little girl, no older than 8, with braids like Aisha's childhood once, approached her bench. "Why you sad, lady?" the child asked, tilting her head. Aisha forced a smile. "Just a rough day, sweetie." The girl plopped down beside her, unwrapping a candy. "My grandma says when you're sad, you gotta share it. Want some?" The simple gesture cracked something in Aisha. She took the candy, tears welling. "I lost my mom," she admitted, the words tumbling out. The child nodded wisely. "I lost my hamster once. It hurt, but Mama said it's okay to cry. Then you feel better." Aisha laughed through sobs, the interaction a tiny spark in her darkness. But denial clung tight. She pushed the pain down, applying for jobs she didn't want, pretending strength. Weeks passed, and the pain intensified, manifesting in sleepless nights and a gnawing ache in her chest. She isolated herself, ignoring friends' calls. "I'm fine," she'd text, but inside, betrayal festered. Marcus had moved on. Social media showed him smiling with someone new. How could he? She raged internally, punching her pillow. Failure loomed large. Losing her job felt like proof she wasn't enough. As a black woman in a world quick to dismiss her, she'd fought for every opportunity, only to have it yanked away. Maybe they're right, she thought. Maybe I'm too much, too emotional, too outspoken. Then, a letter arrived. Plain envelope, no return address. Inside, a handwritten note. To the kind soul at the gas station, your generosity touched me. I'd like to repay it tenfold. Please call. Signed, Elijah Grant. Aisha stared, confusion cutting through her fog. Who is this? She Googled the name, U.S. Senator Elijah Grant, a prominent figure advocating for social justice. Her heart raced. The stranger she'd helped was him? Denial shifted to curiosity, but pain held her back. What if it's a scam, she thought. Yet, in her lowest moment, she dialed the number, her voice shaky. Hello? This is Aisha. On the other end, a warm voice. Aisha, you have no idea how much that $20 meant. Let me tell you my story. As they spoke, he shared his own losses, a brother to police violence, a career built on pain turned purpose. For the first time, Aisha felt seen. But the conversation unearthed more hurt. She wept, admitting her grief. It's okay to feel it, he said gently. Denial only delays healing. That night, alone, Aisha let the pain wash over her fully, no more pretending. She screamed into the void, mourned her mother, cursed Marcus's betrayal, acknowledged her failures. It was excruciating, but in the release, a sliver of relief emerged. Small victories, a resumed journal entry, a walk without tears. The senator's words lingered, a mentor's whisper in her storm. Yet, the journey was far from over. Pain had cracked her open, but reflection awaited. In the quiet aftermath of that phone call, Aisha entered a phase of deep reflection, the senator's invitation lingering like a lifeline. Come to D.C., he'd said. I have an opportunity, a fellowship in my office, focused on community advocacy. Your act of kindness shows the heart we need. At first, she hesitated, pain's echoes warning her against hope. But reflection demanded honesty. She sat with her journal, pages filling with raw truths. Mama, I miss you, she wrote. Your strength was my anchor. Without you, I've been lost, denying how deep the void is. Internal dialogues unfolded. Why did Marcus leave? Was it me? No, she realized. His betrayal revealed his weakness, not hers. And the job loss? A systemic failure, not personal inadequacy. As a young black woman, she'd internalized too much blame. Reflection peeled back layers, revealing resilience in her DNA. Ancestors who endured, thrived despite odds. Aisha accepted the fellowship, packing her life into suitcases, her heart a mix of fear and tentative excitement. D.C. buzzed with energy, a far cry from her quiet hometown. In the senator's office, she met diverse faces, mentors like Dr. Lena, a seasoned advisor with silver-streaked locks. Child, we've all been where you are, Lena said over coffee, her eyes kind. Healing isn't a straight path. It's a spiral, revisiting pain to grow. Their talks sparked realizations. Aisha shared her trauma, and Lena nodded. Betrayal teaches boundaries. Loss teaches love's depth. Small victories mounted. A policy brief Aisha wrote on equitable hiring, praised by the team. You're a natural, the senator told her, his presence a steady guide. He shared meals, recounting his journey. That night at the gas station, I was at my wit's end, funding cuts, personal doubts. Your kindness reminded me why I fight. Interactions deepened her growth. One day, volunteering at a youth center, Aisha met Jamal, a teenager with dreams shadowed by loss, his father incarcerated. I feel angry all the time, he confessed during a workshop she led. Echoing her own pain, Aisha listened, then shared. I lost my mom, got betrayed. It hurt, but reflecting helped me see my strength. Jamal's eyes lit up. You mean it's okay to feel weak sometimes? More than okay, she replied. It's human. Teaching him sparked warmth in her, his small victory. A poem he wrote about hope mirrored her own emerging renewal. Pacing slow, Aisha savored healing moments. Walks along the Potomac, where she'd sit, internal voice shifting from self-doubt to affirmation. I am enough, she'd whisper, feeling her mother's spirit in the wind. Reflection turned inward. She forgave Marcus, not for him, but for her peace. He couldn't handle my depth, that's his loss. Professional growth bloomed. The senator mentored her through speeches, her voice gaining power. Your story matters, he urged. A pivotal moment came during a hearing on social justice. Aisha testified, her words raw. I've known loss, betrayal, failure. But kindness, in a gas station rang. Let me hear. We heal by lifting each other. Applause followed, but the real win was internal, reflection crystallizing into growth. Months later, Aisha stood taller, her skin glowing with self-acceptance. She mentored others, paying forward the wisdom from strangers like the park child, mentors like Lena and the senator. Emotional peace settled like a warm blanket, renewal in every breath. What he did next changed my life. She'd think of the senator's offer, but truly, it was her journey, embracing stages of healing, that transformed her. No longer defined by wounds, Aisha embraced her wholeness, ready to face the world with open heart. Moral of the story: in the depths of our pain and denial, true healing begins when we confront our wounds with honesty and allow acts of kindness, both given and received, to illuminate the path to reflection and growth. Inner strength is not the absence of heartbreak, but the courage to rise from it, forging self-acceptance and renewal that inspires others to do the same.